Hello and welcome back to Suspense Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 1, Part 1, Master and Apprentice. Welcome, everybody. Before I take care of business, let me get down to, I should say, before I get started here, let me take care of some business first. So, if you're new here, thank you, by the way, for joining in. But if you can, like, share, and subscribe. And if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops by the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. It's over 1,000 videos now, so it's going to pick something there by all the twisted, demented shit you've been watching on YouTube, and it'll pick something and match it up here for you. Most likely it does by random. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my media as well, my social media there. With that said, hey, Cheryl. Yes, it's actually really fucking hot out here on the West Coast as well. So, I took the dog for a little walk earlier, and she literally just stopped and laid in the grass and was like, I'm done. And yeah, I had to carry her the rest of the way. But before I get started here with Ahsoka, I just wanted to say I feel sorry for all of you who haven't been keeping up with the rest of the Star Wars stuff. So this is really Star Wars Rebels Season 5. And if you haven't watched Star Wars Rebels, why? It's actually one of the best animated Star Wars out there. And then also Tales of the Jedi, which is fairly new and easy to get through. All these are on Disney Plus, by the way. There's an Ahsoka thread that runs through that as well. That's actually relevant. Also, Clone Wars, the animated Clone Wars series, a lot of that runs through this as well. And there's even an episode of The Mandalorian that has Ahsoka Tano in it, which is kind of where this all ties in. Dave Filoni pretty much said, fuck you. If you haven't watched any of this stuff, it's on you, because he just rolls right into it. And it's like you're rolling into the middle of a story. And quite honestly, I'm okay with it, to tell you the truth, because he is essentially rewarding the fans that have gone through all of this already by not doing any exposition on any of this. He's just rolling straight into the story. And again, I feel sorry for those of you who haven't kept up with any of this. If you go through and take a look at my my videos again, there is a section in there called Who in the Hell Is? And I do have a Who in the Hell Is Ahsoka Tano? Who in the Hell is Grand Admiral Thrawn? That kind of gives you a little bit of primer and gets you up to date. The Ahsoka Tano one is probably a little bit out of date because I don't have the Mandalorian or the Tales of the Jedi in there, because those both came out after I had done that that little segment there. But it'll get you up to speed at least on everything else that's been out there. So with that said, let's get into the episode, shall we? So yes, the first 2 episodes were actually dropped last night. I'm doing episode 1, and then later on at 6 o'clock, I'm going to do episode 2. So spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Give me enough time to hit pause, whatever you need to do. And all right, there you go. As my chair moans underneath me. So yeah, I have to lean like way back now in order to get the spoiler alert sign. I've got a lot more room in this office, but at the same time, it's kind of weird. I'm still not used to it. And yeah, so it's kind of weird. And also, I haven't been on in a while, so I apologize for that too. I know I'd set up some stuff to do, and I didn't do it. So I needed a little bit of a break. There was a lot of work I was doing in my day job, and yeah, it kind of caught up with me. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, there's stuff behind me. Yeah, I have, put up some stuff here and there, some more stuff. So yeah, There's all kinds of stuff that's all over the place for you to take a look at in the background. Anyway, so let's get started, shall we? Basically, we come into this with where Ahsoka Tano left off in The Mandalorian, where she had actually captured a Morgan Elizabeth is what her name is, or Elsbeth, Morgan Elsbeth. So Morgan Elsbeth is working with the New Order, the First Order. They're not called the First Order as of yet. She's still a remnant of the Empire, and Ahsoka wanted to know where Grand Admiral Thrawn was, where the map was to get to Grand Admiral Thrawn. And she does get that information, and Morgan is in custody in rebel custody, which is now I don't know if it's called resistance now or yeah. So basically part of the new alliance, if you will. And Ahsoka is going out looking for the map, and she goes to this ancient relic site. She opens up the puzzles and finds the map, which is this sphere. And of course, runs into 5 assassin droids who try and take her down, but she takes them out. But they do activate their explosive devices. So she has to make a run for it. And of course, we meet the live action version of Hu Yang, which is a really old droid. He's been around for like 800 years. We first saw him in the Clone Wars, animated Clone Wars series, and he actually helps Jedi younglings construct their first lightsabers. That is who Yang is. And again, like I said, Filoni has just basically thrown everyone into the deep end of this, said, fuck you. If you haven't looked at any of the Clone Wars stuff, you haven't looked at Rebels, you're on your own. Those of you who have, welcome, is what he says. So the New Republic. Thank you, Cheryl. Yes, the New Republic. So the New Republic has Elsbeth in their custody, and they get a call from a ship that appears saying, "Hey, we're Jedi. Can we come aboard?" And the captain, not believing them, like, "Yeah, I'm going to call your fucking bluff. Come on aboard." And really, what this opening is reminiscent of the very first episode 1 movie. So yeah, the Phantom Menace, when you have Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan going aboard the the Federation ship, if you will, in order to do an inspection, and of course having to fight their way through all of this. This is the dark version of this, where we get I'm looking down at my names here. Balin's Skull and his apprentice Shin Hati, who come aboard and basically kill everybody. They kill all the rebels that are on there, or the New Republic people. They're not rebels. They were rebels. Now they're they're the new government. But they kill everybody, and of course free Morgan, because Morgan knows where the map is, supposedly, which of course Ahsoka already has. So Ahsoka is trying to figure out how to open up this map. Hu Yang can't open it up, and they're talking to Hera Syndulla, who of course is from, again, Star Wars Rebels. And Hera says, "Well, have you tried Sabine? Sabine most likely can open this up." And again, Sabine Wren is from Star Wars Rebels as well. And one thing we'd find out was, between Star Wars Rebels and now, Ahsoka actually took on Sabine Wren as an apprentice. And so Master and Padawan, which again falls into the whole title of Master and Apprentice, is what we get here. And something happened where they had a falling out, and that no longer exists. They are no longer Master and Apprentice, which is kind of interesting. Excuse me. We have the entire episode kind of dances around whether or not Sabine actually has any kind of force abilities, which we're still not sure of, even after episode 2, by the way. So I'm still not sure if she has force abilities or not. But she took her on as an apprentice and then walked away from it. So anyway, she brings the map over to Sabine. We see that Sabine is actually, living on Lothal still, still living in the communications tower where they did all the rebel missions and everything. And I have to admit, there is one nice touch in all of this. We do get we get the live action version of Governor Azadi, who of course is played by Clancy Brown. So Clancy Brown actually voiced Governor Azadi in the Rebels series, and then he comes in as live action. I wasn't expecting it, and it was kind of like this nice little surprise in all of this. So it was kind of a cool little nod to all of us as well, and I liked that. That was one of the things I liked. Also, that Sabine is using Ezra's lightsaber, and she has actually modified Ezra's lightsaber to fit her own needs. So, and also seeing live action Lothcats again, those are also cool as well. They're like cats and foxes mixed together along with chicken feet. So it's just kind of a weird thing, but it's interesting. I did one of those exercises. I remember doing one of those exercises in art school at one point, where you're mashing together some toys in order to make a new figure. But anyway, I digress. So Sabine is actually able to unlock the map. She opens it up. She sees that it's a star chart to another galaxy, and that is where Thrawn is. That is where Thrawn is, and also where Ezra is as well. And that's the only reason why Sabine is actually dealing with this and why she decides to look at the map. And by the way, she had stolen the map. She wasn't supposed to take it out of the ship. And of course, she takes it back to her communications tower to work on this. And in the meantime, um, well, we find out also that Morgan is a night sister of Dathomir. Now, if you don't know what Dathomir is the planet. And again, this also brings in the video game Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. You actually end up on Dathomir at some point in time. So Dathomir is where Darth Maul is from, and also his brother Savage Opress, who is in the animated series. They are both members of that whole order. They were taken by the Night Sisters and made into more, if you will, by magic. Anyway, Morgan is a Night Sister, which is kind of odd because she does not have the white skin. So basically, they're usually white. Think Asajj Ventress. So Asajj Ventress is a Night Sister. Morgan is supposed to be a Night Sister. All we see is a little tattoo like hidden in her hairline up here, but supposedly she knows magic. So yeah, there you go. And she wants that map, of course, to find where Thrawn is at. Also, we find out later on that she also has a shipyard on Corellia, but we'll get to that in the second episode. So Sabine ends up unlocking the map. We also have, Balin has been told to send Shin to Lothal to, of course, find Sabine and also get the map because they know that Ahsoka has that map at this point. And that's what happened. Shin goes to Lothal, sends her assassin droids. They get the map. Sabine does try and put up a good fight, and of course, she calls for Huyang and Ahsoka to come, help her. And we end up at the very end where Sabine gets a lightsaber through the gut, which honestly, at this point, there's a meme on this. Is that Qui-Gon, of course, got a lightsaber through the gut and died. But every other character since then has gotten a lightsaber through the gut and has survived. Sabine is the latest in that realm of people that have gotten a lightsaber through the gut and have survived. So there's a meme that's around if you actually take a look out there. It's pretty funny. But that's where we leave off, where Shin has the star map. Sabine has been stabbed with the lightsaber, and but she knows that Ezra and Thrawn are outside of their galaxy. They're in a different galaxy at this point. They're in another galaxy far, far away. And that's pretty much where we leave off on this episode. A good episode all the way around. It's like I said, it dumps you into the middle of a story. And again, if you are not familiar with any of this, it is going to be confusing as hell for you. And you're not going to be able to catch up unless you watch all this stuff, is really what it is. And like I said, I'm okay with that. There are some things that you can have that way, and it makes the story better. This is just building onto the mythos that Filoni had already built in with Star Wars Rebels, Clone Wars. He is really just kind of building on top of what he's already built, and he is not apologizing for it. He's just saying, get with the program or stop bitching about it, kind of thing. And those of us that have been on board since the beginning love it. So yeah, I really dug this episode. Um, there is some things I didn't like. There is so the lightsaber blades, they've actually changed the special effects on them so you don't get the swoop anymore. It's a minor nitpick. I understand this, but yeah, I would like to see the swoop, from it's more of a slash when the lightsaber, gets thrown, you get a nice little arc instead of leaving it as a thin blade. I don't know, but everything else was actually really good. I really enjoyed this episode, and it's nice seeing these characters in live action, quite honestly. And it is Rebel season 5. Um, and yes, I did love the Loth cats. And I kick myself to this day. I was at Disneyland when they first did the Loth cats. They actually did the stuffed ones, replicas. And I was looking at it, I'm like, they're probably going to do something better than this one. And I didn't buy it. And now they don't have them anymore. So that's okay. They'll probably have them now. They probably did take them out because they weren't selling all that well. And they're probably going to redo them again for this. Because I know that the Sabine Wren figure that's coming out, even though there is a Sabine Wren figure right there that's already out, they're doing another Black Series version. Those are the Black Series, by the way, right there. They're going to do another Black Series version of 8 characters, and I've already seen the promos for this. So Ahsoka Tano, of course, is one of them. Sabine Wren is one, and the Sabine Wren one actually has a Loth cat with her, so which is kind of cool. But the other ones are kind of shrouded right now in mystery because, of course, they don't. It's nice that they aren't spoiling the rest of the season with the toy. That's usually what ends up happening is the toys end up spoiling the rest of the season by putting out characters that haven't appeared as of yet. So it's kind of funny. They're using different names. They're using like code names on the toys right now, but you can buy the entire set for, I think it's $150. Yeah, it's 8 figures is what it ends up being. But anyway, great episode. I liked it. I enjoyed this. This was, and I can see how that's building. It's a slow burn at the moment, but that is what Filoni does. Is he starts off slow and then he kind of just ramps it up, and we'll see what happens here in the next couple episodes. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, at 6 o'clock in about what do we have here? A half an hour here. I'm going to do episode 2. So I'm going to do episode 2 of Ahsoka here. And then tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow I'm going to do another Is It Worth My Time? This time around, it's going to be Blue Beetle. That's out in theaters right now. The much maligned Blue Beetle. Friday I'll be off. Saturday I'll be off. And then actually, I just want to make sure that's actually the case. I don't remember what I put down on my schedule because, that's how I am. Yes, that's right. So yeah, Friday I'm going to be off. Saturday I'm going to be off. And then Sunday is going to be a spoiler alert at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Spoiler alert is basically where, you and I can sit around and talk about stuff that's already out there, out in the wild. No sneak previews or anything like that, but we talk spoilers about all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. Hey, the General Grievous 19. May the force be with you as well, and welcome, by the way. So, yeah, this was a great episode. Well, not great as of yet. It was a good episode. But yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. And again, I really feel sorry for those of you who haven't watched all of this stuff, leading up to all of this, because I was thinking about it as I was sitting there. I'm like, wow, if you really haven't watched everything in all of this, and I'm talking about everything like I have, you're gonna be lost. You're gonna go, what the fuck is this? You're just jumping in the middle of the story, and yeah, it's gonna be a difficult one for you. But it's satisfying for those of us who stuck around for all of this stuff. And I mean, not just stuck around. It wasn't like you actually, you know, had to toil through. Okay, there are some episodes of the seasons in Clone Wars where it is a toil to get through them. There are some bad episodes in there, I'm not gonna lie. But Star Wars Rebels, everything's pretty much good in there. I think there might be one or two bad episodes out of all 5 seasons, but the majority of it is great and awesome. And by the way, the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars are probably the best Star Wars you will ever see. I can't state this enough. And again, also uh, Tales of the Jedi, which is another animated series, and again, it follows young Ahsoka and also follows Count Dooku. Um, those are great stories as well. And it looks like we're actually going to get a live action version of something that happens in Tales of the Jedi within Ahsoka here. They're actually going to show this because there's always been a question of how did Ahsoka actually survive Order 66, and there is an explanation for it in all of this. And yeah, it's a good explanation. It's actually in Tales of the Jedi, and that's what Dave Filoni is really good at. Dave Filoni is really good at fixing the continuity errors in Star Wars and making it make sense. And you can go, okay, that actually makes sense by putting this in, by giving a little more exposition on all of this. And remember, he actually was at George Lucas's feet doing all of this stuff. So when he started Clone Wars, Lucas still owned Lucasfilm, and I think it was up until season 5 that was when Lucas actually sold off to Disney at that point. So he learned at George Lucas the way George Lucas wanted stuff done. That's how Dave Filoni learned all of this. He is essentially the apprentice of George Lucas and is carrying on the Star Wars tradition at this point. So, yeah, I'm happy with what he's doing in all of this. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. I will see you again at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here for episode 2. Until then, well, thank you, everybody. Let me, before I do all that, yeah, actually, I am going to say until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up remembering that you need to watch all those episodes of Clone Wars, Rebels, Tales of the Jedi, all that kind of stuff, The Mandalorian, all that stuff to catch up to all of this. And I'm sorry. So until then, if you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match them as best as possible. One of the videos of my vast video library and pops up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, there's stuff underneath there that stuff that's coming out in the future. I've got a list of all of that down there as well. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again in a short amount of time. Until then, I'll see you in a little bit. Anyway, thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your night if you don't come back. Otherwise, I'll see you at 6. Thanks, everyone. Good night.